Have you ever felt like your freedom is slipping away not because of chains, but because of the stress, the opinions of others, and the constant demands of modern life? What if true freedom had nothing to do with where you live or what you own, but everything to do with how you think? Imagine waking up every day feeling unshaken, no matter what chaos surrounds you. Deadlines, criticism, rejection, even loss. None of it has the power to control your peace of mind. Sounds impossible? Epictetus believed this was the only kind of freedom worth chasing. Here's the truth most people don't realize. The majority of us live as prisoners, not behind bars, but trapped by emotions, trapped by fears, and trapped by things we can't control. But Epictetus, once a literal slave, taught the most radical rule for freedom, a rule that can transform how you live today. Welcome to Stoic Blend, where ancient wisdom meets modern life. Today, we'll explore Epictetus's rule for freedom in modern life and how you can apply it to overcome stress, reclaim your inner strength, and find peace no matter what challenges come your way. Part I. What Epictetus meant by freedom. Epictetus, born into slavery in the Roman Empire, knew firsthand what it meant to live without physical freedom. Yet, despite his external condition, he taught that the mind remained untouchable. He said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This is the foundation of Epictetus's rule for freedom. Freedom is not the absence of external constraints, it's the mastery over your inner world. Think about it. How many times have you been free physically? You could walk anywhere, eat anything, buy what you wanted, yet still felt like a prisoner of anxiety, anger, or other people's opinions. Modern life often fools us into believing that freedom means options, choices, and possessions. But Epictetus flips this idea. To him, freedom is a state of inner sovereignty, the ability to choose your response, regardless of what the world throws at you. Storytelling example. Imagine a young professional in today's world. She has a good job, but every time her boss criticizes her, she collapses inside. Her whole day is ruined. She becomes chained not by her contract, but by her inability to control her reaction. This is what Epictetus warned against. Slavery to emotions, slavery to others' judgments. Part 2. The rule for freedom. Control what you can. Epictetus's philosophy centers around one unshakable principle, the dichotomy of control. He wrote, "Some things are in our control, and others not. Things in our control are opinion, pursuit, desire, aversion, and, in a word, whatever, are our own actions. Things not in our control are body, property, reputation, command, and in one word, whatever, are not our own actions." This is Epictetus's rule for freedom in modern life. Focus only on what lies within your control, and release everything else. In practical terms, what does this mean? You can't control if your company goes through layoffs, but you can control your mindset and skill growth. You can't control if someone insults you, but you can control whether you take it personally. You can't control traffic on your commute, but you can control whether you fume with anger or use the time to learn through audiobooks. Real-life anecdote. A man loses his job in the modern corporate world. Most people would spiral into despair, but someone living by Epictetus's rule for freedom sees differently. My job is not my freedom. I know my response, my attitude, my ability to adapt, that is my freedom. Does this mean you become passive? Not at all. It means you direct your energy only where it matters. You don't waste strength fighting the inevitable. You use it to grow where you can. Part 3. Freedom from emotional slavery. Marcus Aurelius, deeply influenced by Stoicism, wrote in Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Freedom begins when we stop letting external events dictate our inner state. This is emotional independence. Think about how often we hand over our peace of mind. A rude comment ruins our day. A failed relationship convinces us we're worthless. A social media post makes us envious and unsettled. Each time, we've surrendered freedom to something outside ourselves. Modern storytelling. Consider social media. A teenager posts a picture and waits for likes. If they come, she feels free and validated. If not, she feels trapped in despair. Is this freedom or slavery? Epictetus would say, "You are free the moment your sense of worth is no longer chained to approval." Seneca reinforced this when he wrote, "He is most powerful who has himself in his own power." This is the essence of emotional freedom. Practical application. Next time you're insulted or ignored, pause and ask, "Is this within my control? If not, why waste your freedom on it?" This question alone can disarm anger and restore calm. Part 4. Freedom in Daily Modern Struggles. Let's apply Epictetus' rule for freedom in modern life to everyday situations. Deadlines, toxic bosses, competitive environments, these can crush anyone. But Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. A calm, resilient worker becomes truly free. He may not control his boss's moods, but he controls his own discipline and composure. Arguments, rejection, misunderstandings, we can't control others' hearts, but we can control our honesty, our boundaries, and our self-respect. That's freedom. Every ping, every notification feels urgent. But Epictetus would ask, is your attention yours? Or is it owned by the algorithm? Freedom today means reclaiming your focus, choosing when to disconnect, and using your time intentionally. Many people live as prisoners of what ifs. What if I fail? What if I lose? Epictetus answers, those fears live outside your control. Instead, live the present moment with virtue and courage. That is true freedom. Part V. The result of living Epictetus' rule. When you apply Epictetus' rule for freedom in modern life, something extraordinary happens. You stop being tossed around by every external storm. You stand firm, calm, unshaken. Freedom is no longer about external conditions, it's about inner sovereignty. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Marcus Aurelius echoed, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." Seneca advised, "The man who is content to be the least dependent on fortune is most independent." Together, these Stoic voices remind us, freedom is found not in the world, but in your mind. Storytelling close. Think of Epictetus himself, born a slave, crippled, and poor. By the world's standards, he was unfree. Yet through philosophy, he became one of the freest men in history. His rule still guides us today. And in your own life, freedom begins the moment you stop chasing control over the uncontrollable and start mastering yourself. So let's recap. Epictetus' rule for freedom is mastering yourself, not the world. Focus on what you can control, let go of what you cannot. Build emotional independence and reclaim your peace. Apply it to modern struggles, work, relationships, technology, fear, and remember, true freedom is not given. It's chosen moment by moment. If this message resonates, take a deep breath and remind yourself, your freedom is within. Thank you for watching Stoic Blend. If you found value in this video, please like, share, and subscribe to spread Stoic wisdom to others who need it. And in the comments below, share one area in your life where you will start practicing Epictetus's rule for freedom in modern life. Stay strong, stay free, and as always, live with wisdom.